We've got breaking news coming in. Just stay with me for a moment. We've got some word coming in. I just want to take it by and by. Here is what we've heard. A one-line flash from our colleague Ahmed Azim, who's in the Supreme Court at this time. This one-line flash says, hold your breath. This one-line flash says, the Supreme Court has convicted Sasikala. This is all we know just now. That's all that we know. A one-line flash sent via WhatsApp by our colleague who's inside the Supreme Court at this time. Live, big breaking news on India Today. Remember, we just want to take it by and by. All that we know right now is that Sasikala stands convicted. That's the one-line flash. Mr. Bishwajit, what more do you think we have to look forward to? Okay, I've got some details. I've got some details now. The Supreme Court has set aside the judgment of the High Court, upheld the trial court judgment, which means this is big, big breaking news. Big breaking news right here on India Today at this time. The High Court judgment has been set aside. The Supreme Court has set aside the judgment of the High Court, has upheld the trial court judgment, which means Sasikala stands convicted. She cannot be Chief Minister for 10 years at least.
Yes, absolutely correct. If the trial court judgment has been upheld by the Supreme Court, then the trial court had, convicted her for 4 years. So under the Representation of the People Act, for the next 4 + 6 years, she is absolutely debarred.
Anusha Soni, who was in the Supreme Court, is joining us now at this time. Anusha, give us a blow-by-blow account of what happened in the Supreme Court.
Well, this is over 2,000-page judgment. Justice P.C. Ghosh and Amitabh Roy delivered this landmark verdict today. And Justice P.C. Ghosh was very clear when he read out the judgment. He only read the operative part, and he said that we agree that there has been abuse of power by Sasikala. She held public office section 13E of the Prevention of the Corruption Act, read with the criminal conspiracy. These are the sections and the charges against her. The Supreme Court has found her conviction. The court agrees with what the trial court has said, that she in fact did commit those offences, and she should serve the remaining jail term as was given by the trial court, which was 4 years. We must understand there were other 2 accused also in the case, which were her, aides and relatives. They've also been given the similar jail term. The trial court verdict has been upheld. As far as the High Court order is concerned, which gave relief to Sasikala and others, has been set aside. As far as Jayalalithaa is concerned, after her demise, after her death, in law, the findings against her would be abated. That means the court will not give any findings of guilt of conviction. However, keeping the view in mind that the other accused, A2, A3, A4, Sasikala and her aides have been convicted, it is very clear that the court has found Jayalalithaa guilty in its finding. What this has an implication on her property. The judgment is still being read out. The details are trickling. We'll have to wait and watch. If the Supreme Court goes ahead and attaches any property for recovery, you will remember there was a 100 crore fine which was imposed by the trial court on Jayalalithaa, Sasikala and others. But a big setback coming for Sasikala, and as we pointed out earlier...
Again, Anusha, the critical thing is, will Sasikala go to jail? Will she now be picked up for the remainder part of her term? Anusha?
Rahul, she'll have to serve her jail term. She'll have to go
how
back
much
to
of her jail term has she served and how much is left?
4 years was given by the trial court. She spent about a few months in jail, which is less than, I think, 6 months. So over 3 years is still pending for her in jail.
Over 3 years pending for her in jail. Bishwajit Bhattacharya, your first thoughts? The judgment still being read out. Sasikala convicted. This is big breaking news breaking here on India Today at this time.
So, Rahul, the match is over now. Since the trial court verdict dated 27th of September 2014 has been upheld by the Supreme Court, and trial court had awarded 4 years of, sentence. So, under the Representation of People Act, Section 8, now Sasikala will have to serve the term, and then for the next 4 + 6 years, for 10 years, she will not be eligible to be member. So therefore, the match is lost.
Atir Khan is joining us from outside the Supreme Court. Big breaking news. This Sasikala stands convicted. she will be sent to jail. Do we know how soon this can be? Atir, could she be sent to jail today, tomorrow? How much time will this take?
Well, absolutely. You see, Rahul, it appears now it is a unanimous decision. And now, as per the procedures, she will be asked to surrender. Now, there are many implications which are involved, as Anusha was pointing out. There is the question of fine. Though Sasikala is supposed to pay only 10 crore rupees, the fine for Jayalalithaa was 100 crores. Moreover, the property which was confiscated in the 1997 raids which were carried out by the police was shifted to Bangalore, which includes a lot of valuables. It includes silver, gold, Jayalalitha's pair of shoes, saris, wristwatches. All those questions will now be dealt with in detail in the court order. But now this is, Rahul, one of the recent cases which has a direct bearing politically. There have been convictions of
Durai Pandian is in OPS's camp. He in fact defected live on India Today. You'd be relieved you made the right choice, it seems, Mr. Pandian. Sasikala convicted.
Even in the last night when we were discussing in a debate, I told you as a very first point that she will definitely get convicted. Because, Rahul, it is all documentary evidence. You cannot escape simply like that. If it is an ocular or oral evidence, then there are chances to come out because no paper is going to support the case of the prosecution. This area, as far as the conviction is concerned, for the best of my knowledge, it is only 4 years. And in the case of 4 years, the accused has got every right to file an application for suspension. After getting suspended, she can be released today itself. And
I'm going to come back to you, Durai Pandian, in just a moment. We have a lot to talk about. I hope to have you back in greater detail. I want to go across live to Poise Garden. There's apparently pin drop silence, pall of gloom as they realize that Sasikala's dream of becoming the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu has been shattered by the two Supreme Court judges. My colleague and India Today's deputy editor, Rohini Swami, is joining us from outside Poise Garden. Rohini, take it away. Give our viewers a full ringside view of what's happening at Poise Garden just now.
Absolutely, Rahul. Initially when they thought that the court verdict was in their favor, they were actually screaming and shouting, but pin drop silence, as you can see right now, just outside Poise Garden. Till a few years ago, let me tell you, we were not even allowed in this area, but they were...
Public Prosecutor B.V. Acharya is speaking at this time. I'm coming back to you in a moment. Let's listen to Acharya first.
Convicted and sentenced for an offence under the provisions of the Prevention of Corruption Act stands disqualified from contesting an election for a period of 6 years from the after the period of sentence is over. In this particular case, if the sentence is 4 years, the disqualification will be for a period of 10 years. 4 years period of imprisonment plus another 6 years.
Thank you. Now, sir, we come on.
ಈ ತೀರ್ಪಿನಿಂದಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಹೇಳ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ತಪ್ಪಿತಸ್ಥರು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರಭಾವಿಗಳಾಗಿರಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೇ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಅಥವಾ
B.V. Acharya, again in just a moment, I want to go back to Rohini Swami. Rohini, we just heard B.V. Acharya explain more details about what the judges said. You were describing what's happening at Poise Garden.
Let me give you a blow-by-blow account of exactly how Poise Garden looks like right now. It's absolute silence, that pin drop silence around this place. Here, people had actually gathered, hopeful that she will be let free. But as of now, that's not the situation. And I was just explaining just a few minutes ago, Rahul, that till recently, we were not even allowed in this part of Poise Garden. But they thought that she will be let free, and that is why they let the media all through. But now you can see that all of them here are completely silent. Chinnammakku அவ ஜெயில் போனன்னு சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க இப்போ?
இப்போ பேட்டிங் கொடுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. பேட்டிங் கொடுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க. பேட்டிங் கொடுக்க கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிருக்காங்க.
So the point is, see, there are people who are wearing the AIADMK flags and hoping that they will. Let me try and talk to some of the supporters here and ask them. இப்போதான் கோர்ட் வெர்டிக்ட் வந்திருக்கு. நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க? சின்னம்மாக்கு ஜெயில் இமிடியேட்டா போனன்னு சொல்றாங்க. நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
அது துரோகிகளும்
ஒரு சதி கூட்ட கேடிகளும் சேர்ந்த ஒரு சதி திட்டமே தவிர இது எங்க அம்மா வங்கக்கடலில் இருக்கிற அம்மா தான் அது அவர் ஆசியில அவங்க எப்படி இருந்தாலும் மீண்டு வருவாங்க அந்த அம்மாவுக்கு அந்த வங்கக்கடலில் இருக்கிற அம்மாவுக்கு கொடுத்த தண்டனையை தவிர இந்த அம்மாவுக்கு கொடுத்த தண்டனை இந்த தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு
What he's basically saying, it's a huge conspiracy and that she will come out of this. ஜெயிலுக்கு போனன் திருப்பி பண்ணுவாங்க சொன்னாங்க. அம்மா ஜெயலலிதா அம்மாவும் அப்படிதான்.
Okay, I want to go across as we try and fix that audio connection to T.S. Sudhir, our consulting editor. He's at the residence of O. Paneerselvam, the man of the moment, the man of the match, the man possibly said to be Chief Minister. What's happening at OPS's residence, Sudhir?
Well, let me just show you the shots. Danny, if you could just pan and show the shots. This is outside the gate of Paneerselvam's residence. You can see a huge contingent of media cameras and also one TV channel broadcasting the news. Huge atmosphere of jubilation as soon as news broke out here that Sasikala has been convicted in the disproportionate assets case. This means she will be headed most likely to the Bangalore Central Prison where she and Jayalalithaa actually spent 21 days in October 2014. So here obviously they believe that it's a done deal that Paneerselvam will now soon be invited by the governor, or what will be the legal procedure that perhaps he will be asked to take a floor test of in this Tamil Nadu Assembly and prove that he has a majority. Of course, the crucial question will be what will now happen at the Golden Bay Resorts. Will those MLAs who have been staying there for the last 6 days, Rahul, will actually come out and head to the O. Paneerselvam camp? That's what these people are hoping. We have been saying for the last 1 week, Rahul, that everything now hinges on the Supreme Court verdict. The fact that both judges gave the unanimous verdict that Sasikala is convicted means there is absolutely no room for doubt or ambiguity that O. Paneerselvam will now really be the front runner to become the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. There is of course still the possibility that the Sasikala camp could anoint someone else as a leader, but Paneerselvam definitely having his nose ahead given the manner in which the scenes from here are playing out on television screens. Danny, please be on those shots to just give a sense of what the atmosphere at Paneerselvam's house is. The gates haven't been opened to gain entry into Paneerselvam's house, but of course they will also be brainstorming and perhaps also now getting through to all those MLAs who may now want to shift camp. So definitely a tectonic shift as far as the Tamil Nadu politics is concerned. This verdict really means a lot for Tamil Nadu. It was not just about Sasikala, it was about the future of Tamil Nadu, the politics of Tamil Nadu, and in many senses people here feeling...
But right now I want to go across to Atir Khan. He's at the Supreme Court. I'm coming back to you, Sudhir, in a moment. He's got with him a lawyer who was in the court when this judgment was being read. Atir, over to you.
Yes, Rahul, we have with us Satish, who was there at the time of pronouncement. Satish, what exactly is the pronouncement? What happens from here on?
The court categorically said that the accused who are there in the crime, special court conviction is absolutely correct, upheld the special court conviction and set aside the acquittal order of the Honorable High Court. Right. So, and court categorically said that they have to surrender before the trial court. If not, trial court can take appropriate steps and they have to serve the sentence of 4 years which was pronounced by the special court.
Right. So, and what word about Jayalalithaa?
In meantime, while matter is pending before the Supreme Court, Jayalalithaa was expired, so Jayalalithaa was exempted, that means abated from the accused list. A2 to A4, who is Sasikala and 2 others, has to be serve the sentence of 4 years pronounced by the special court.
Right. What happens from now on? Sasikala will have to go to Karnataka to surrender in the special court.
Yeah, absolutely, Sasikala has to go and surrender before the Karnataka special court. Otherwise, special court can take appropriate steps and they can give arrest warrants and they can call for the service of the sentences.
Right. But it must be a detailed account, detailed verdict. What was the operational part?
This is the operational part. Verdict is in a volume of 1000 pages, so it is a very big volume. The verdict, the key portion is this: they are convicted. They were found guilty by the Honorable Supreme Court of India.
Right. So there you are, Rahul. It's a detailed verdict which runs into thousands of pages. But clearly now, Sasikala will have to go and surrender in the special court. That's what the apex court has directed.
First now to T.S. Sudhir. He's at O. Paneerselvam's residence. So far, Sudhir, only 8 MLAs. Okay, let's add the one who jumped this morning, but only 8 MLAs. Before that, on OPS's side, 118 at least on the side of Sasikala. Will these MLAs stay with Sasikala, or do you see a numbers game? Do you see a mass exodus starting soon? Sudhir.
Today is the biggest day
Well, the exodus could start pretty soon. In fact, we saw the Mettur MLA jumping ship early this morning, almost like a last-minute entry, because perhaps the sense, the writing was on the wall. They got the sense that the ship was sinking at the Sasikala camp, and perhaps a jump ship. And we could see over the next couple of hours, next 2 to 3 hours, could be dramatic, that many of those MLAs who are holed up there at the Golden Bay Resort could actually make the trip back to Chennai, distance of about 2 hours from Golden Bay Resort to Chennai. So that could pretty much happen. I'm sure the phone lines are being worked. People are making calls to Paneer Selvam, because remember, none of them want a snap poll right now. They would actually want to ensure that the AIADMK government stays in place, and they would want to be part of the new power structure. So that is definitely happening at this point in time. Paneer Selvam definitely ahead in the power race, and they would really like to side with him. So whether he reaches that magical mark of 118 is going to be critical, because I am told by my sources that Sasikala may still be able to hold on to a few, but whether that few will continue to dwindle and whether that few will still be enough to prevent him from reaching the 118 mark is going to be extremely critical. And also the role of the Congress. Which way will the Congress go? Will the Congress actually side with the Paneer Selvam camp, realizing that the public sentiment is in its favor, because Congress has about 8 MLAs in the Tamil Nadu Assembly, and that number could actually be crucial if it really goes down to the wire.
Okay, that number you're saying is crucial. The Congress has done a press conference. In this press conference, they are leveling the charge. They believe that Sasikala has been unfairly done in. That's the charge the Congress is leveling. PC Chako has done a press conference. I hope to put that up. That's rather unfortunate. The Supreme Court has come out with a unanimous verdict to say that is not appropriate. I want to go across now to Ashish. Ashish is at the Golden Bay Resort. The Golden Bay Resort is where these MLAs are. What's happening there? That's also where Sasikala was. What word is coming out of the Golden Bay Resort, Ashish? Ashish? Okay, give me a moment as I try and fix that connection. Bishwajit Bhattacharya, your sense till then? I'm told, I've just received word that the police has reached the Golden Bay Resort. They've been anticipating for some time now the possibility of a law and order situation, especially if the verdict goes against Sasikala. Your sense of what happens next legally? Can Sasikala challenge this order in the Supreme Court?
You see, a sort of drowning man will always catch hold of a straw. So Sasikala surely has 2 more remedies left, but I don't think it's going to work. First is a review petition and then curative petition. But since this is a very, very unanimous, decisive verdict given by 2 honorable judges of the Supreme Court, I don't think any further legal proceedings will yield any, unlikely to yield any positive results for her.
Okay.
In fact,
Anusha Soni is at the Supreme Court. She's just walked out of the court to join Atir Khan. She was listening to the verdict as it was read out. Anusha, it's a 2,000-page verdict apparently. What more details have you been able to put together? Atir, take it away.
Yeah, Anusha, what are the details? What were the court's observations?
Well, Atir, this is a long order that has come today, and clearly this is a big setback to Sasikala. The details and what are the reasonings are very clear. The findings of the trial court have been upheld by the Supreme Court, that indeed the High Court was wrong in the way it calculated.